Alrighty, guys. Well, we are back. We are ready to go. And unfortunately, as you can see, you only see me. There's no buddy tonight. Where's my buddy? I don't know. I have not heard from him. I emailed him the link, and Phoenix Knight, I guarantee you, is the kind of guy that would not just blow me off and ignore our show. So there's something that had happened. Either something happened to him, or his internet connection went out, or his computer died, or something bad happened somewhere. He wouldn't have just ignored my email messages, and he wouldn't just ignore the show. And Phoenix Knight is not like that. So I know something bad happened, and I'm just hoping for the best that nothing serious or anything like that. So hopefully he's okay and is, maybe it's just his computer's just giving him issues. I don't know, whatever the issue may be. But we can just, as we like to say, the show must go on, and we are here to do our top 100 board games of all time. This is going to be number 80 down to number 71 tonight. I'm just going to go ahead and I was hoping that maybe give him a few more minutes. So we're just going to kind of chill out. We're going to get to talk about, well, first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about what we did last episode. And I will share an image with you guys here. So there we go. This is there we go. So this is my list and Phoenix Knight's list from number 90 down to 81. So my number 90 was Fall Classic Baseball. My number 89 was Evolution. 88 was Gloomhaven. 87 was The Night Cage. 86 was The Crew Mission Deep Sea. 85 is The White Castle. 84 is Dominant Species Marine. 83 is Viticulture. 82 Apex Theropod deck building game. And 81 was Pentaquest. I'm very happy with this list. Most of these games I would rate 8 to 9s, probably mostly in the 9 categories. There are games that are falling out of my favor. Apex Theropod deck building game was in my top 20 just a couple years ago, has fallen way down. Just because, you get more games in. Games can replace other games. They're not as good. They're not as fun after you've tried other things. All the way 23 last year, all the way down to number 82. But then there's good games like Pentaquest. It's actually made it to the 100 number last year and actually went up the list because we played it like 18 times. For Phoenix Knight, he had for 90, he had Apple Golf. For 89, he had Pandemic. 88, he had One Deck Dungeon. 87, Mr. President. Number 86 is Rogue Dungeon. 85, Let's Play Tennis. 84 is American Tank Ace. 83 is Hitler's Reich. 82 is Terraforming Mars. And 81 is Defending America. I sent you the link, Phoenix. I will send you the link again, but I sent it to you. Send it right now, just in case you didn't get it. Your other email. You better make sure your email's working, because I sent it to you. And I replied to, I sent it at 7:34, and then I replied at 7:51 saying, "Did you get it?" Because I still hadn't heard from you. So I sent you 2 emails. You better check and make sure your email's working. So it looks like, yeah, okay. Not sure what had happened there, but yep. We'll see if we figured, give them a few more minutes and see if there's, maybe a miscommunication or whatever. All right. Well, I'll just say our never-ending battle with this game and this every week it's like a new challenge. It's like something that comes up. The first week we were having connection problems. Phoenixknight kept dropping all the time. So there's always something going on, that's for sure. Did you get my email this time, Phoenix? I'm gonna load up the hello, hello, hello. Top 100 board games of all time. Number 80 to 71 with Phoenixknight when he decides to get here. Good to see you, Gamal. How are you? I'm looking at my email, but I don't see either one. I was also looking at my junk email. Well, either your email isn't working or my email is not working because I sent you another one. So somebody's email isn't working. I just put the link in the chat. Oh, you're working on some crochet stuff. Crochet stuff. Good. Oh, you're going to start in Etsy. Oh, really? Wow, you're going to be like rich and famous? I don't know how you're not getting my emails, Phoenix, because it says it was sent. Um, I mean, I'm not doubting that you didn't get it, but it's just weird. Somebody's email's not working, but according to my screen, it says delivered 3 minutes ago. Oh, let's see. Where is the? There he is.
Fortunately, you're using the same link. But I was looking at. I've had my email up on both my iPad and my computer, and I didn't see either one tonight.
Now, I sent you two, and then I sent you another one. So I tried replying, and then I sent a brand new email thinking, well, maybe there's something wrong with the original one, but it says it was delivered according to my screen.
I didn't see anything coming in, and I was checking my junk mail my inbox. I had it up on my iPad as well. I didn't see anything.
All right. Well, I mean, it's okay. At least you made it. Hello. How are you, Phoenix?
I'll live.
I said in the intro, I'm like, he wouldn't just ignore like my emails. I'm sure there's something wrong. Like he either didn't get my email or something, something. I thought maybe you just didn't have power. Your computer took a dump. Who knows?
No, odds are I would have still seen the email even through my phone because that probably would have connected to 4G or something like that.
Hmm.
Looks like I just now got it.
Your email? Well, I don't know if you guys are having any weather up there yet, or.
The only weather we're supposed to get is being freaking cold up here.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, cold is bad. Cold is bad for electronics, so.
Shouldn't be that bad though. I was seeing other emails coming through. Yeah, I'm just now getting everything for the links.
Aha! See, I did send them. See? I just wanted to make sure I wasn't lying. Lower, slower, good evening. Can't wait until Monday. The full early release of Mr. President rolls out on Steam. Oh, wow. There you go. That was on your list. We just were talking about that. That was your number 87 last week. Or, yeah, from last week.
For the list in 2024.
Yeah. No, from last week. Oh, yeah, no, it was last week. Yeah. 87.
The part of the list that was on that part of the list that we went through last. Actually, that would have been Sunday that we went through that.
Yeah. Yeah, we could delete the link just to make sure. It'll be fine. I don't. Nobody's gonna care. Nobody's gonna bother. It'll be fine. I think the way it's done is because I always use the same homepage. I think it's always the same link, to be honest, Phoenix. So you can just probably use that going forward.
I went ahead and pinned the link from the first email that you sent for when we first started this circus.
All right, well, let's just talk about last week. We had let's talk about Sunday, which was last week, but we had a great time. We had a great show. We had 90 down to 81. So, do you want to go over your list for everyone really quickly? Again, just to let everyone know.
Sounds like you took pretty good care of it, but I'll go ahead and rattle it off real quick. Number 90 was Appa Golf. 89 was Base Pandemic. 88 was One Deck Dungeon. 87 was Mr. President, the American Presidency, 2001 to 2020. 86 was Rogue Dungeon. 85 was Let's Play Tennis. 84 was American Tank Ace. 83 was Hitler's Reich. 82 was Terraforming Mars, the dice game. And 81 was Defending America, Intercepting the America Bomber.
Good list. Yeah. You're happy with these games? You've played probably all those on your channel in the last year or two. So
yeah.
You seem pretty happy with that list. One Deck Dungeon, that's a great game. I'd like to play that one again sometime. Maybe we can. It's more of a solo game, but I mean, you can play a multiplayer. That's kind of a cool one. And the Terraforming Mars the dice game. I'm a big Terraforming Mars guy, and for me, I just never got around to playing the dice game version. There's so many different versions now. It's hard to, pinpoint which one I really like the best. But yeah, I need to try that one again sometime too. So that is our list from last week. I had a great time, and it was. How do we get rid of this now? It's a good question. That's not it. How do I get rid of this now?
What are you trying to do?
Just trying to get rid of the graphic there.
Should be a different screen and restream probably, or just
close it, I guess. Share screen. It's something. It looks like this is going to be a something every day we get together or something. It's going to be a thing, I think. Remove there. Let's just remove. There we go. All right. We're getting somewhere now. Holy cowabunga. All right. So now I got to share my regular screen here. with everyone. So today it's going to be 80 down to 71. And this will be our third show. And I'm excited to see what's on your list this week. Looking through the list, I've got some good ones. I've got some ones that almost are exactly the same spot they were last year. And I've got some movers and shakers. So it's going to be a kind of an interesting list, I think.
Now I'm looking at my list. I've got 5 new games on the list, fair amount of movers and shakers, and should be an interesting show.
All right, I started last week, so if you want to start with your number 80, let's go ahead and I got to share my screen first.
After which I will be headed down. I got to go check my laundry. Thursday night's a thing, after all.
It is. That's all right. Do your thing and then go check your laundry.
Anywho, my number 80 game is actually the second game, actually the second or third game on the list by GMT. I actually got rid of a lot of GMT games in my yearly Noble Night run late last year, just because a lot of games didn't work for me. But this one is one that did. My number 80 is the Plum Island Horror by GMT. Definitely liking a little bit more of the zombie aspect to it. Not necessarily a zombie aspect, but it's got kind of a Euro. Got a Euro feel to it, but to me there's just enough narrative to it that I can pull it out in the game. And it's got a lot of mechanics like Aeon's End with the randomized turn order that's in there via the turn order bag, essentially. Various factions in there. I do enjoy how everything flows and movement is fairly easy to control with your enemies. But my number 80, the Plum Island Horror, and I know you're going to have a lot to say about this game probably later in the list.
We will probably be talking about this game again today. That is for sure. It is. I know Herman Lutman, great fan of the channel, is always looking for ideas and adding things to games from other games, and kind of took a lot of great aspects from several games and combined them into Plum Island Horror. And it is a classic game. That's all I'll say for now. We'll save the rest for later. My number 80 is a deck building game. You guys know I love my deck building games. But this is the first one that was introduced to me that turned the deck building mechanism into a cooperative game where the game actually works against you. And it had a nice fantasy theme, and I've really just got into this game many years ago, and I repicked it up a couple of years ago and just started playing it again. This is Thunderstone, the deck building game, which is awesome. There was this whole evolution where you're evolving your characters and getting them up to level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4 for different experience level, which gives them different abilities. And it's one of these games that if you want to have a cool theme with some deck building mechanics, it's I think it was done really cool, and it still holds up today, although it's number 80 because there is some issues. It's not a 10 out of 10 game system. There was no dedicated solo mode, but it was a very cool game, and I did enjoy Thunderstone, and I'm glad I picked it back up, and I'm glad I got to play it several different times in several different ways. There is one expansion I should mention. If you buy the expansion, it came with a solo board and a solo mechanisms to play the game. So there was officially a solo that was built into it, but it's
like.
I'm sorry?
Bolted on, it sounds like.
Yeah, it was just not great the way they just, we're talking 2013, which is 12, 13, 14 years ago already. And it was taking the new deck building mechanisms and to try to morph it into something cool where okay, now you can run like a little campaign and It's just all kinds of really cool things with Thunderstone. So my number 80 is deck building game Thunderstone. It was number 66 last year. Fell down a little bit just because, it's one of these games. It's starting to show its age a little bit and just not as fresh and new as it could be.
Right.
But my number 80 is Thunderstone.
Well, if you can keep selling Thunderstone, I'm going to go check my laundry, so I'll be right back.
All right, I will keep selling Thunderstone, shall we? So yeah, it's very cool game with all the expansions. You get tons and tons of cards and tons of different variations and different ways to, different cards to kind of build with and evolve and there's probably, I don't even know how many different combinations there are in this game now because with all the expansions, they re-released Thunderstone in a new edition, but I would not get that edition. It's not, in my opinion, very good. Oh, look at that cat. But yeah, when you get the Thunderstone and all the different expansions, it can definitely be one of these huge, massive games with tons and tons of variability, tons and tons of ways to, kind of different cards to see and things to do. And yeah, that is my number 80. I'll go ahead and start with my number 79, and Phoenixknight will catch up and do his number 79 when he gets back. My number 79 went up the list because I played it like, how many times did I play it? In 2025. Let's look at our list here. Log plays. Let's go back to January 2025. And we're gonna do it by game. I played it 47 times in 2025. That's why it's back on the list for me. This is Stratomatic Baseball. Speaking of Stratomatic Baseball, when you think of Stratomatic Delaware, lower, slower board gamer, this is the game that got me and Chris to be buddies and friends and kind of, got me watching his channel and got me interested in things. And it's a great game and a great system. And I enjoy Stratomatic Baseball a lot. And I bought the Stratomatic Max, so I've been playing a lot of Stratomatic and doing all the Stratomatic Max testing, and that's why it's number 79 this year. Is it moved up from 107 up to 79 just because we played it? How many times did I just say I played it? Like 47 times in 2025. So we played it a bunch of times. And yeah, it made it back up the list. It is a really good game and really good fun and system, and there's a lot of really good things to like about Stratomatic Baseball. I never Lower Slower would get back into playing some Stratomatic Baseball and showing off some stuff on his channel, and maybe this will give him some inspiration to do that. That's how I met him and how we became good close friends. Stratomatic Baseball is my number 79 bestest game of all time because of how many times I played it.
I'm pretty sure you spent as much time playing Stratomatic Max as you have bitching about Stratomatic Max.
That's probably true. That is 100% true.
Of my baseball systems, I do have Strat as well, but I will get a little bit. Well, I think I've got 6 baseball systems, not counting my tickers. I'm getting a little bit spoilerific, but this is one of the 2 that is not on my list.
Really? I'm surprised. Well, you just haven't played it enough, I don't think.
Well, I don't know. In the stress testing I was doing during Advent of the Phoenix, I think this was one I was not. This was probably the one I would say I was the least happy with of the ones I went through.
Really? Oh, it figures that it would be number 79. The 79 season is his favorite. I'm surprised. I think you would like this. I think I actually sent you a copy of this game because I thought, oh, this one's right up your alley. But
I think hockey. I do remember you sending me a copy of Strat Hockey. I bought my
okay.
copy of Strat Baseball off of BGG. I know I didn't buy it through Strat though.
Okay. I would try it again, or it's one of these games that it's got a basic mode, advanced mode, and a super advanced, and the more you play it, the more you can use the advanced and super advanced options, which add to the flavor of the game. And I know you like your flavor, so give it another chance. As much as I bitch about it, it's still a good game.
Well, I'm kind of with Strat. I'm kind of advanced, dabbling in super advanced. I don't play with all of the super advanced rules.
Right, right. All right, you're number 79. You got to catch up since you were doing laundry.
Yeah. My number 79. I'm going to preface this. It is down 33 spots from 2024, but I'm going to mention that a lot of the movement in this list, especially down, is just because there's so much other stuff up higher on the list that's been added into it. So a lot of the big movers and shakers are kind of moving incidentally, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Anywho, my number 79 game is the first of a couple of games from Historic Wings in this group. And it's the one that I really started leaning into and playing Historic Wings games. And you're going for the wrong one. You should be going, actually, you know what? Yeah, you're going for the right one. I'm going to switch those two. It's going to be Tally Ho, actually, by Historic Wings. So
Nice.
this one's set in the Battle of Britain, and I was initially kind of a little bit hazardous. I was a little bit, maybe not, I think, nervous about this one, but it does seem like it's fairly straightforward. It's got the 10 battles, so it's almost a little bit of a mini campaign going through the Battle of Britain. It does take a little bit of the agency out of the player's hands, which, I like having the player agency in there, but in a way, I think that makes sense to have a little bit less player agency in there because you're rolling for the movement, you're rolling for the orders. And of course, I'm big on narrative, but the narrative for me here, at least, feels like it takes a little bit more work to bring out because it's essentially from a 10,000-foot view of, and I did talk to Thomas Van Hare, the creator, about this part, where the narrative is essentially coming from like somebody controlling the entire squadron rather than just the individual planes. So for me, at least, that made the narrative a little bit hard to pull out. My number 79 game is Tally Ho by Historic Wings.
Great. We might see this one again as well. I wasn't sure if it was going to be this one or Mag 23.
It was, well, I'm going to get a little spoilerific, but it was originally going to be Mag 23, but then I made a literal last second executive decision. I'm like, yeah, it makes sense for me to swap those two.
Okay. Do you want to do your 78 then?
Might as well. My number 78 is going back into another war game. This is actually my debut with the Undaunted series. So my number 78 game was Undaunted 2200 Callisto by Osprey Games, I believe it is.
Undaunted
2200 Callisto.
There we go.
This was actually on my 10-game challenge for last year. Of course, there's no challenge this year because there's no war room. Anyway, this was my first experience with the Undaunted series, and I'm surprised that I enjoyed this one as much as I did. You've got your deck of units, and normally I would not like having the 8. There's still a lot of player agency in this one in determining the order that your units move in. There's also line of sight rules as you'd expect in a traditional war game. There's various units, the strength of their attacks. And there's even a little bit of a campaign thread that's weaving through this entire game. So my number 78, Undaunted 2200 Callisto by Osprey Games. I know you've liked some of the World War II Undaunted games.
I am a big Undaunted fan. I've liked all of them except for Battle of Britain. And I actually picked this up after you had played it on your channel, and mine is never made it to the table. And that's why I was looking through, because I'm like, it's interesting that this is like a futuristic sci-fi version of Undaunted. And I don't find it as interesting as the war version for some reason. But I do need to try this and give it a whirl and see what it's like and see because it is typical undaunted stuff. So it's always good. All right, my number 78 is a brand new game that I got in 2025. It's by GMT. It really surprised me because when this game came out, I was like, nah, I'm not, it's dumb. I'm just not interested in that at all. And I never got around to getting it. And then it sold out, and I couldn't find a copy and couldn't find a copy. And it's been on Noble Knight for like a year, and I finally came back. Somebody turned in their copy, and I scarfed it up immediately. My number 78 is a game called Flashpoint South China Sea, which is a it's kind of a easy version of the what's it called?
Twilight Struggle.
Twilight Struggle. Thank you. It's kind of like a Twilight Struggle light game. It's very easy. They only have a couple locations on the board. And it's basically a kind of a tug of war in each location based on how many cubes you have and how many cubes they have. And you're playing cards to different sectors, and then you're trying to score these sectors just like you would in a regular Twilight Struggle thing. And then there's 3 special sea zones that the China players trying to get their cubes into, and they always leave their cubes in there. The U.S. has to do special things to get their cubes in there, and so they play very, very differently. There's a solo mode for this, which I thought, how good can that be? And it's actually really, really good. And why it's my number 78 bestest game of all time. It's really good solo mode, and if you wanted to play Twilight Struggle Light and you want a game that lasts 45 minutes to an hour and still plays pretty interesting, you can't do anything better than Flashpoint South China Sea. My number 78 bestest game of all time.
Given that I kind of bounced off a Twilight Struggle in everything except theme, I probably would avoid this one, but that's just me.
Yeah, if you're not a fan of the push and pull and playing cards to put cubes on locations, you're probably not going to be interested in this one at all.
All right. My number 77 game is actually taking us to the season of the year, and this being the winter time. This one is a game by Inside Sports Games, probably the only one on the list. This one is Inside the Crease Hockey by Inside Sports Games. This one, you can probably guess by the name, it's a hockey simulator. And this was part of my 2009-2010 hockey season replay that I did last year. And I really like how it tells the story of, it really gives you the narrative of what a hockey game is really like. You've essentially got a two-sided deck of cards. You've essentially got a double-sided deck of cards that you flip over every play. Every play is 20 seconds in the game. And it's basically if then logic to make sense of it. But there's a lot more advanced stuff that you can get into with it. I don't get into it though. My number 77 game, Inside the Crease Hockey by Inside Sports Games.
Spoiler, this did not make my list this year. I think it's a great game and a great system, but it's just for me too much work to play a stupid hockey game. And I know watching you struggle with it for a while, I'm surprised it made it on your list as well. But I know it's got a good narrative, and it's cool because it's 20 seconds every play, so you really feel like you're part of the game. It's not just roll a dice and get the outcome. You're feeling like the ebb and flow, and there's a lot to like about it.
I've also had to do a fair amount of stress testing with this one to get it to work to the point where I'm pretty comfortable using it again for a season replay.
Yeah. I'm just surprised. I really am, because it is kind of a a little bit bigger game than I would have thought you would have liked. So I'm happy you enjoy it. That's great. My number 77 was number 133 last year, so they came up about 60 spots. And this is kind of a cheat for me because I'm putting, instead of one game, I'm putting a whole series of games in here because I don't want to take each game of the series and take a spot for them. My number, what number are we? 77 is the coin system by GMT. So I just decided to highlight Cuba Libre. You could just easily do a distant plane or all bridges burning or whatever theme you're looking for in the coin system. um i I enjoy these game systems. So for me, it's the coin system is going to be number 77 specifically because for me, they're all very similar. There is not too much difference, a little bit difference in how they play and what the mechanisms and how big their board is and how long they play and the different events and stuff like that. But in reality, they're all about putting cubes on the board, trying to get different locations to your side, and then trying to do certain things that earn your faction victory points, depending on which faction you're playing. But they all play pretty similar-ish, with some slight variations. But they are really really good. I started playing. I was going to play a coin game every month. I played one in January, February, and then played the second one. I was going to go and play through all 13 games, one each month, and well, that didn't happen. But it was a good goal to get into and try. It's a great game and a great system, and GMT keeps evolving it with new AI modes that they're re-releasing AI modes for all the different game systems, and they just released Cuba Libre this year in 2025. And so if you want to play that solo, there's now an official big solo mode that you can get into for that. So they play great solo. I shouldn't say great solo. They play pretty decently solo. I wouldn't say great because there's a lot of flow charts and trying to figure out what the AI would do, and they're very involved systems. But you can just two-hand this, three-hand this, four-hand this yourself, and have just as much good time and fun. It's good. It's great. And there's once you learn the system, there's 14, 15 different games that you can play. My number 77 is the coin system by GMT. They are expensive and they are a lot of work, and they are a great multiplayer sit down and play type game. We should actually play it sometime, Phoenix. Try it out.
I don't know how interested in some of the research I've been doing. I don't know how interested in coin games I would be.
You never know until you try.
True.
We should try sometime. That's all I said. That's my number 77.
My number 76 is down 33 spots, but remember what I said about some of the movers on my list earlier. This is another one from GMT Games. Again, don't have a lot of GMT on the list this year, but this one is Space Corp 2025 to 2300 AD. This one's a space exploration game. At some point, make Space Corp all one word, and it should pop right up. There you go.
Okay.
I do at some point need to get this out with the expansion, but I do like the theme of exploring our solar system and going through all of that, going and just how far out you can reach in the solar system. You're basically playing a corporation and trying to explore over 3 ages. And the nice thing about this game is each board actually acts as an independent stopping point, essentially. So if you only want to play one era, you can stop after one era. If you want to start at, say, era 2, there are rules for you to get started there. Same thing with Era 3. So my number 76, Space Corp 2025 to 2300.
Yeah, I got this one, and I actually played it online with Ruff and Blue Tweezers. We played a 3-player game, and we went through the first era, and I was winning at that point. We decided to call it, and I needed to like try this game again. I bought it, and just it's one of these games. Need to get it to the table and try it out again. Oh well, one of these days maybe I will.
It's also a little bit of a sprawler, so be aware of that.
Oh, is it? Oh, that's interesting.
Well, it's not bad in the first era, but it does get a little bit worse in the subsequent what's the word I want? The subsequent 2 eras of the game, because you end up having to turn the first board over to get your tech, essentially. I forget what they're actually called. They're advances or upgrades or something like that. So it does get a little bit sprawly, but it's not terrible as long as you can manage it. Granted, I've got an 8-foot conference table in my game room that I can spread out on.
Well, that would help. Yeah, I mean, it looks like a good one, good theme, and I think it plays good solo as well. So I need to give it a try and see. One of these days, my friend. One of these days. All right, my number 76, I think, is going to make it onto your list this year. I mean, I don't think it already has. I don't think so. I think it's going to be probably a little bit higher up the list. It was my number 34 game last year, so it dropped 42 spots down to 76. This is a really good deck building game again with a really good theme. But I got a little frustrated with the mechanisms of rolling the dice. It's the G.I. Joe, the deck building game. And I really like this game, and that's why it was so high last year. I really like it. It was number 34 last year. But I played it this year and got a little frustrated with, like, if you don't roll good, like, you have no chance of winning this game, which kind of takes some of the fun out of it for me, because it's just like, okay, I mean, I should have been able to complete this mission, but now I failed it because I just didn't roll well, and that kind of takes some of the
some of the joy out of it.
Some of the joy of the game out of it, because it's just like, well, I did everything I could, and it just failed because the dice just didn't work. Now, I know that's part of the game, and that's part of the system, because it's like, oh, we built it in to make it hard so you can't succeed all the time. Like, if you just auto succeeded all the time, it wouldn't be that fun either. I understand that, but for me, like, if you had just bad time playing the game because it dice rolls. So yeah, it dropped a little bit for me because of that. I just had I don't know if it was just a bunch of bad cards that came out at the same time, and just kind of just dropped down a little bit. It's still a great game and a fun system, but just kind of wore out its welcome. It's not number 34 for me anymore.
It's also just an inherent risk of any game involving dice in the history of God and forever, where sometimes the dice just aren't going to go your way. Like I'm seeing.
I mean, that's true. I mean, that you just, whenever you play with dice, you just never know what the outcome is going to be. So
I'm certainly seeing that in my 2001 season replay, where I'm pretty sure that replay at this point is just totally off the rails.
No, dice will do that for you. So yeah, there's just some of the mechanisms in the game that just dropped it a little bit for me. I still think it's a fun game, especially when you get all the different expansions and all the different characters. There's a lot of variability in all the cards you see, and it's got the G.I. Joe mechanism, which is theme on it, which is kind of cool. So G.I. Joe, the deck building game, pretty cool game for a deck building, kind of a newer genre of deck building games in 2025.
Indeed. My number 75 game is actually the last of my new games to the list this year. This is a dungeon crawler that I think you unboxed on the channel before I picked up my copy of it, but I've played it a couple times on the channel. This one is a game called Machina Arcana by what the hell is the?
Oh yeah,
I'm trying to remember who. I think it's a Dream of Games, but I wouldn't swear
ARMACH.
MACH. Machina Arcana second, third edition. So this one's kind of a, yeah, it looks like a Dream of Games. This one is basically like a steampunk Cthulhu Mythos dungeon crawler, where you're going through with a lot of the similar monsters in the Cthulhu Mythos, trying to navigate whatever story you're going through. Obviously, trying not to die. There's several different hazards that you've got to be aware of. Like you can actually get pushed into pits or use exploding oil, using exploding oil barrels. There's a lot of stuff going on in this game. You also got your health, toughness, all that good stuff. Special dice that are used with the game as well. And I know there's a game found that I backed with a new expansion for this game. So I really enjoy this one, and I definitely see getting this out on the channel. I could see this being a staple of Mythos Month on the channel. My number 75 game, Machina Arcana by A Dream of Games.
Yeah, I saw someone play this. I picked it up, and I think that's how I kind of introduced it to you. Is you saw me do an unboxing of it, and you went up and were like, "Oh, cool! Cthulhu dungeon crawl. Yeah, that sounds really cool." And I just never got it to the table. God, another game that came in and went before I even had a chance to like sit down and play it. I have to sit back and figure out what I did with my game and get it out and try it out because it looks really awesome. And yeah, if you made your list, then maybe it'll make my list next year.
It's probably somewhere in that mess of games that you've got that's going to kill you one of these days.
I'm sure it is somewhere. It's somewhere here. I just don't know what happened and why I didn't get it to the channel. So the reason I didn't play that one was because I was playing number 75 game, which I hadn't played for a few years. Actually, it was number 305 last year. It was number 305. And then I got a copy finally. It was re-released. It's been on a print for a long, long time. And this is a great Euro game called Grand Austria Hotel. It's very wanky in that you're trying to feed the patrons of your hotel strudel and cake and coffee and wine, and each of them want different combinations of that. And if you give them what they want, they will give you a reward. And it sounds like, oh, okay, well, that doesn't sound very interesting. And it's not, but there's a lot more to it. Like there's different color of the guests, and each of the guests, you have to have a room to put them in. So the yellow guys have to go to the yellow rooms, and the blue guys have to go to the blue rooms. So you need rooms for your guests. There is a big expansion that was released for this called Let's Waltz, which adds ballroom dancing and champagne and other new aspects into the game. This is a classic Euro game dice drafting game. It has a great solo mode. A lot of really good things to say about this one. If you like your tough decisions when you're playing Euros, this is a great one for you to pick up now that it's been republished. Grand Austria Hotel. Probably something you would not probably
get into.
Enjoy it, I don't think.
That's you could probably tell by my reaction, couldn't you?
Well, I mean, it's just the puzzle is like, oh, I need to get this guy because he'll give me a great bonus, but I need a blue room. So what do I have to do to get a blue room? You know, if you don't like that, like that puzzly trying to figure things out like that, and like, oh, if I need this strudel, like this guy here, you can see he wants 3 wine and a coffee, so you got to get 3 wine and a coffee. Well, if you don't have 3 wine and a coffee, then you got to try and get this stuff for him. Or, you know, this guy only wants like 1 cake, so he's a little bit easier to get, but he'll only give you $1. So is it worth trying to get him because he's only going to give you dollars a reward? So, and there's this whole track here which the emperor is coming to visit, and if you can't inspire the emperor when he comes to visit, every 3 years he'll come to visit you, and or every 2 years or something like that he comes to visit. So he'll be very upset and give you negative points and give you bad review on your hotel.
Or maybe he'll give you the ultimate bad review and have you executed for a bad hotel stay.
That too. All right, your next one.
Well, Grand Austria Hotel does not seem like it's going to be my cup of tea. Anyway, my number 74 was an executive flip that I made just tonight from 79. So it's actually down 28 spots. But again, remember what I mentioned about movers and shakers. This one is Mag 23 Guadalcanal by Historic Wings. This one sets you in the battle of, just like it sounds, the Battle of Guadalcanal in the World War II Pacific.
There you go.
There. Yeah. So this one sets you in the Battle of Guadalcanal in the Pacific, and I really like a much stronger narrative. Well, I don't know if it's necessarily a stronger narrative focus, but for me, it came out a lot easier because the narrative for this one. The narrative for this one is actually written from the perspective of the pilots. So to me, it's a lot easier to pull the narrative out in the game. And as you might have heard from some of my after action reports, you'll see me start with, say, it'll be from the CO's perspective, and then I'll switch over to a pilot who actually goes up in the mission, then probably back to the CO's perspective for the end of day stuff. But yeah, the narrative in this game is a lot easier to pull. In my opinion, at least, the narrative for this game is a lot easier to pull out. My number 74, Mag 23 Guadalcanal by Historic Wings.
Well, Phoenix, I think your list is doing nothing but making me look bad because this is another one of the games that I own and another game that I have not played because I got Tally Ho and then I picked up Mag 23. And I decided, well, before I get into Mag 23, I wanted to spend more time with Tally Ho. And so I just never spent that time with Tally Ho to advance through it enough where I felt like, okay, I'm done with this. Let's move on to the next one. So another game that's sitting there, great, awesome game. Thomas does a wonderful job with his games, and I got nothing but wonderful things to say about them. But for me, man, I just need to get busy getting some of these games to the table, man. You're making me look bad by having all these games that I haven't played yet.
Whereas your list is kind of more me still looking at potentially new stuff coming into the collection, but a lot of it not catching my eye just because I know I'm very picky on what I like in gaming.
See, that's the problem. I like everything. Whenever I see something, I go, oh yeah, I gotta get it. I gotta get it. And my feeling, and I swear to this still to this day, is if you see something you want, you better get it now. Because if you don't, things go out of print and you won't see it, and you're gonna pay double what you're be paying right now. And there are many, let's just say many games in my collection that are out of print and worth a lot more than I bought them for. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
So I always have gone with, Mag 23, yep, get it. And I'll just set it on the shelf and I'll get around to it eventually. So one of these days I will. In 2026, I will. My number 74 is another game by GMT. This is a great game by a great designer, Mike Butter Jelly, good friend of the channel. We've played this many times on the channel, and if you like your narrative games, this is a great one. Wolfpack, the North Atlantic Convoy Struggles, October 1941 to March 1943. This is all about the missions of your U-boats as you approach into a convoy of ships, finding the ships, spotting the ships, dodging the enemy escorts as they're trying to come out and get you. We played this online with the designer several times. It's really a great game. It was number 72 last year. It's down 2 spots to number 74. It dropped a couple of spots just because there's a couple new games that bumped it down a little bit. It's still a great game. I love this, and I played it a bunch in 2025. Let's see. Did it actually tell us how many times we played it in 2025?
Try doing a Control F for Wolf Pack.
Oh, Wolf.
Not a search. A Control F on this page.
Oh, Control F. Control F. Hey, get up there. Maybe can I do advanced search? No. Okay.
No, that won't do what you want.
I would think it would just be easy spots because it's a big long name. Here it is. Oh, it says it only played it twice, but I think I also played it on Nerd Workshop's channel a couple times. So we didn't play it on my channel all the time. So Wolfpack, the North Atlantic Convoy Struggles. It's a great game, and again, if you like your narrative story, this isn't like taking one ship out. This is a pack of ships going in. So 4 players, 4 ships. If you got a nice group of 2 or 3 players, it's just a lot of fun to get in there, and it's just you're all fighting over trying to get to the juicy ships in the middle, but then the escorts come and everyone's like, no, you take the escort. I'm not taking the escort. You take the escort. And then watching the designer just get his sub just blown up and going to the bottom of the ocean and listening to his expression is like a classic. Great artwork on the game and a fun, interesting system. It is a full blown mission. So it's going to take you several hours to play this. I guess it's one downside. It's it's 90 to 3. Well, there is a campaign, but you're probably an hour and a half to 2 hours for the mission. So that's kind of the one thing, but it's designed to be a bigger, it's not designed to be an easy, quick 5-minute, like Hunters or anything like that. This is a more involved sending your vectoring into the convoy and trying to figure out what's there. And yeah, there's a lot going on there. Wolfpack down 2 spots.
Never really got this to the table when I had it. I actually ended up getting rid of it before I played it. It looked a little intimidating to me, but
it can be. That is for sure.
My number 73 game, though, is down 32 spots, but again, prefaced by the movers and shakers disclaimer. This is actually switching sides in the America Bombers games. We had Defending America on the list last time. This one is America Bomber, Evil Queen of the Skies by Compass Games. This one, KA. America Bomber, Evil Queen of the Skies. That's the one you're after.
There we go.
So in the America Bomber games, I mentioned this when we were talking about Defending America. In this timeline, the Germans have actually won the war in Europe, and now they're going after the U.S. using their long-range America bomber, using from a forward base in the Azores in Portugal. On Sunday, we had Defending America, where we're controlling the interceptors. This time, we're now the America bombers going on the long-range mission. A lot of Hunters vibes to this one, and eventually, it looks like you can get to the A-bomb and drop that on the U.S., but I've never been able to get that far. I haven't gotten that far yet. So
yeah, there's a big A-bomb going on New York City there.
Yeah. So my number 73 game, America Bomber, Evil Queen of the Skies. Is this another one that you need to try out at some point?
I was going to say, I actually own this. Tony sent this to me. He bought it and didn't like it. I went to buy it at the same time, and it went out of print because he bought the last copy. So he found out, we had joked on the War Room. I said, oh, well, if you get sick of that game. He tried it, didn't like it, so he sent it to me. And this is another one that I've got that I haven't played yet. You are absolutely correct, unfortunately.
Is there anything on my list tonight that you have and haven't played yet? so far?
No, not that I recall. Oh well, maybe next. Oh yes, we'll see one here shortly. My number 73 is a civilization building game, which is a very good game, and it's a game. I'll just tell you what it is before I start talking about it. It's called Nations, and it is super cool. I really like this one. I picked it up several years ago, and it's one of these 4X games that plays a little bit differently than everything else out there. There's 4 different eras. There's a solo mode. There's an expansion for this. This is one of these games where you have a certain number of workers you put out. Each of the workers that you put out on your cards will earn you either victory points or food or money or prestige, and so you're trying to balance that with also how your military forces. There's an AI card that you put out, and so you kind of know what the AI is going to thinking about doing and if they're going to attack. And then there's just a grid of different things out there. There's leaders you can pick up. There's different territories you can conquer. There's obviously new buildings that'll get you um, new rewards when you send your workers to that spot. So you evolve your mine into your quarries into kind of upgrading them through the years to get you more and more resources through the years. It's just a really cool 4X civilization game with 4 eras that you play through. Tons of cards in each of the different eras, and lots of variability, lots of fun to have. And with the expansion, there is different factions start the game with different resources and stuff. So you can play as the Vikings or the Chinese and have like a different flavor to your game, which is really cool. And it's a 4X game that I think you can't play an hour and a half more. Most 4X games are way too big for that. Oh, and Chris Loris Thor says, I love Nations. I got this after watching IDJ a few years ago. Great game. There you go. If you enjoy civilization building games and evolving your civilization, Nations is a great game. It's hard to find, so just keep that in mind. There's not many copies out there. If you look, let's see here. Oh, actually, Noble Knight has it for $44, which is half of what I bought it for. It was going for over $100 at one point. So, yeah, there is some copies you can get for $99 is what I got it for. You can get it for $44 now. But that's without the expansion too, so just keep that in mind. Nations. There you go.
Not sure I've done much with Civ builders, but
You have not actually. You need to expand your horizons a little bit, I think.
Well,
try some building your civilization and seeing how they evolve through the years and seeing what characters you get in, what buildings you buy, and it does tell a nice story. I know you like your story-driven games, so.
Well, the thing of it is, a lot of those Civ builder games are usually multiplayer games, and given the direction of solo that I'm moving in, not sure how good some of those are going to be, especially if I end up especially if things end up happening and I go full solo.
No, I mean, Nations does have a pretty good solo mode, so.
Anywho, my number 72 game, speaking of solo modes, I know I've talked before about all of my war games having to have a full solo mode. This one's actually up 13 spots. Again, the same thing I was saying about some of the big movers. The reverse holds true, where there's a lot of stuff moving down the list, pushing some of these games up the rising tide, lifting some boats. This one is Tiger Leader by DVG, where this one has you in control of the of the Germans in World War II and the various land campaigns. There's a lot of replayability in this box where you've got your various terrains in here that you've got to navigate the various campaigns. I know Poland is in here. I know Barbarossa's in here. I know D-Day's in here. I forget what all's in there, but there's a lot of replayability that you can get between whatever campaign you're doing and whatever, what's the word I want? Not setting maybe, but maybe the situation that I'm thinking of. I know there's Sherman Leader as well if you would rather play as the Americans, but my number 72 game, Tiger Leader by DVG.
Yep, it's definitely a full-blown system with lots of things going on. You got evolution of your characters and expanding experience points and keeping track of the evolution of your units and your leaders and stuff. And yeah, it's a lot of good stuff there in that system, and that's a really good one. I've actually played this one. I have played. And I've also played my number 72 game, which we've already mentioned once, but let's mention it again. The Plum Island Horror by Herman Lutman, which was number 73 last year. So it moved up one spot this year. Just coincidence. It's just, it's probably in the same general vicinity it was last year. Great game, fun system as we've already talked about, and they added an expansion this year, which added a bunch of cool stuff to the game with new factions and new cards and new enemies and new things to do. And we need to spend more time in this in 2026 and try out a little Plum Island Horror and see if we can, have some more fun with it. Great game, great fun, great system, and look forward to trying it some more. Plum Island Horror. I can't believe it fell on both of our lists about in the same spot.
Yeah. My number 71 game, which we're already at the end of tonight's show, by the way.
Yeah, going crazy.
Well, this one's down 4 spots from 2024 when I last did the list. This is a Scythe sequel from Stonemaier Games. This is Expeditions. To me, this one compared to the original Scythe, Expeditions should be 2023. That's it. So this one feels a lot more approachable, where you've got your mech and you're trying to go exploring the land after something's happened. I forget what. I think there was like a corruption running through the land. But there is a bit of a puzzle focus here where you're trying to figure out how to get your mech set up. You've got to cleanse the corruption and go through, gather your workers as well. So to me, there's a lot to like here, especially when I put it up against Scythe. But my number 71 game, Expeditions. Let me guess, another one that you've got need to get out at some point?
I do not own this game, Phoenix. So I was looking at it to see if it's something I would be interested in checking out. It's interesting. It made your list, so that's why I'm not a big Scythe guy. That's why I've been resisting Scythe for the longest time. I don't think I need to add another game like that to my system, so I'm wondering if this would be something that maybe it'd be worth trying out.
As someone else who doesn't like Scythe, I like this one a lot better. Even though it's set in the same universe, it's a very, very different game from Scythe, where you do have the mechs, but I think that's about all that there is in common with Scythe. There's really no battling in Scythe. You don't have to worry about your resources. Well, you don't have to. I don't think you really have to worry about your resources nearly as much, like your oil, your wood, your all that stuff. You don't have that to worry about in here.
Well, maybe another game we can add to our list of games to play in 2026 and try out. I'm sure there's a mod for it.
There probably is.
Lower Source says, I don't have this one either. I like Scythe. This one was not seen on the radar. Oh, okay. I don't know. I'm gonna have to maybe, if you can convince me to try it out someday, we can try it, play it together online and try it out. You can teach me how to play it. All right, my number 71 and last one on the list. Last year, just missed out on making my list. It was 105, so just outside the top 100 last year. But this year, it made it up the list because I played it several times. And it is one of my favorite systems out there. But the theme is awesome. Let's just say it right now. It is Legendary Encounters, an alien deck building game. I love Legendary. You're going to see Legendary multiple times on my list. I enjoy the Legendary system. And of course, this is thematically evolving with the Alien franchise. And if you enjoy that genre, then you definitely will enjoy this. It's you can actually play through the movies, and they very thematically make it so, like in the first mission, you need to try and get the alien queen to evolve, and then you need to get her into the airlock, and then you need to open the airlock and get her out the airlock. So I mean, it's not just beating them down with lots of damage and all that. There's face huggers in this game, and yeah, it's just thematically a fun, interesting game. Playing through the movies in a board game version is great. Yeah, game over, man. Game over. That's right. Oh. There we go. Game over, man. Game over. Yeah, it's my number 71. Legendary Encounters, an alien deck building game. Again, it hadn't made the list for a while because I hadn't played it, but 2025 we finally rearranged the room, got some of the games that were way in the back up to the front, and so now it's actually right here. I can actually reach down and pick it up if I needed to.
Assuming the rest of the games aren't going to fall on top of you.
Well, that's the thing. How many are sitting on top of it is the question. So that is my number 71. So that is our list for tonight. We'll go over them one more time if you're just joining us. Maybe you got here a little late. My number 80 was Thunderstone.
My number 80, and I got to go back to my Excel. It was the Plum Island Horror.
My number 79 was Stratomatic Baseball.
Mine was Tally Ho.
My number 78 was Flashpoint South China Sea.
Undaunted 2200 Callisto.
My number 77 was the Coin System by GMT.
Mine was Inside the Crease Hockey.
My number 76 was G.I. Joe, the deck building game.
Space Corp 2025 to 2300 AD over here.
Number 75 was Grand Austria Hotel.
I took us dungeon crawling with Machina Arcana for my number 75.
74 was Wolfpack, the North Atlantic Struggle.
Mag 23 Guadalcanal over here.
Number 73 was Nations.
I'm continuing bombing the list from my number 73 with America Bomber, Evil Queen of the Skies.
Number 72 was a big day for Plum Island Horror.
Tiger Leader over here, which is not likely to be a crossover.
And number 71 was Legendary Encounters, an alien deck building game.
Expeditions by Stonemeyer Games closed out my list.
Excellent. So hopefully we'll see everyone on Sunday at 8 o'clock if Phoenix decides to show up on time this time. Hey, don't blame me. I sent the emails. Look at the timing on those. I sent them plenty of time.
I know you did. I just didn't get them.
I understand you didn't get them. But now there won't be any excuses next time. You got the link. You know the link. Sunday, 8 o'clock. We are going to be doing, 70 down to 61?
Sounds about right.
Yeah, and there's a lot of there's so many good games out there, man. So yeah, I'm very excited about this list. a bunch of games that I've now had to refresh my. Thanks to you bringing them up and making me look bad, I'm going to have to spend a lot of time trying to figure out what games I haven't got to get on in my collection done. It's January 22nd, and if I look at my list from January so far, I already have 8 new games that I have not played in 2020 or haven't played yet. So I've already got 8 new ones on the list already, including Sanctuary, which I know you did an unboxing of.
I did an unboxing of it. I think you were playing it right after I finished my payoff pitch block for last night.
Yep. I did that kind of late last night. Yeah, I thought I would throw it on the channel. It's a pretty interesting game. Definitely different than Arc Nova, but not too hard, and you can play it in like an hour and a half max, which is nice. Arc Nova is a little bit longer game. So 8 new ones already on the channel this year. Woo!
That's a fifth of what I want to have total for the year. I'm like I said, I kind of want to have a down year on new games.
Really? Well, that's we'll see how you do with that. You've already gotten how many new games in this year?
None actually, because most of what I've been playing has been my 2001 baseball season replay.
All right. Well, good luck on that. Let us know how it goes. So we'll see everyone on Sunday at 8:00. Coming up on your channel. What's speaking of your baseball? You got baseball tomorrow. Let's see. Today's Thursday.
Tomorrow we'll have
baseball. Yep.
We'll be in Kansas City tomorrow night as the Arizona Diamondbacks take on the Kansas City Royals, and this whole replay so far has been just completely topsy-turvy, to put it mildly.
Yeah. And then Saturday
is going to be a busy day on the channel because Saturday we're going to have another block, of course, but I'll talk more about that during tomorrow night's 7th inning stretch. But tomorrow I did make a change on the recipe I'm going to be doing for Mystical Munchies. I'm still cooking out of the official frozen cookbook, but instead of doing the reindeer are better than people's antlers, which was donuts, I'm going to be doing shove some chocolate in my face marzipan truffles, which looks like those are chocolate covered cherries from what I'm seeing. And we're also
I would rather like the donuts, I think.
Well, we'll find out soon enough. Anyway, I'm also wrapping the winter campaign early in Arkham Horror, the card game. I'm probably going to try to do that stream Saturday afternoon sometime. So Sunday instead, I'm going to be starting football stress testing as we play second season football by Play Games.
Well, I think you'll like that one. I think you will.
Well, it's not just a matter of liking it. It's a matter of seeing if it's actually going to work for what I want to do with it for a replay.
I think it would. We'll see. Yeah, we'll be checking it out, and then we'll see you on Sunday night back here around 7:30, and we'll be starting the live stream around 8 for everyone out there. Number 70 down to 61, and that'll be our 4th episode. So thanks everyone for joining us. Be sure to check out his channel. Go subscribe. You've heard the times he's going to be live streaming, and yeah. We'll see everyone on Sunday, right?
That's the plan.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for coming out. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this, hit the like button. We'll see you on Sunday.